Well, former astronaut Chris Hadfield is back with his much-anticipated novel Final Orbit, which is set in the backdrop of the high-stakes space race between the U.S., Soviet Union and China in the 1970s. But along with it, there's plenty of intrigue, espionage and thrills. The Cold War, of course, features. And joining us live this morning, not from space, but right here on planet Earth, is Chris Hadfield. Commander Hadfield, Chris Hadfield, always good to talk to you about these series of books here. Let's start with this. Your book opens before even the first chapter. Many of the people are real. Much of this actually happened. I'm curious about your process of writing a book that is based on some part fact and some part fiction. It's not your own story, but you have to piece together fact and fiction. The challenge involved in putting that together. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it makes it really fun to write, Nick. You look at what truly happened in history and the weird confluence of events. In this case, in the summer of '75, with two women who shot at President Ford that summer, actually fired the pistol. One missed by 4 inches, and all the aftermath of the Vietnam War and the race riots in the States, and then the Cold War, and then the rise of Chinese spaceflight, and this symbolic docking between the Soviet Union and the Americans. All of that was happening at the same time. And there was this group called the Weather Underground blowing up bombs in government institutions all across the U.S. So as an author, you look at all that combination of threads of real world, and then that gives me room to take my main characters and weave a plot of things that just might have happened.
Yeah, I mean, as an author, that must be remarkable. And Kaz Zemeckis, is kind of your main character. We've seen him in this trilogy here. How much enjoyment do you get out of creating this character in the real world, but also a fictional world?
It's the weirdest thing. My main character, Kaz Zemeckis, as you mentioned, I just made him up like 5 years ago, but now he's a real guy that I kind of bounce ideas off him. It's a little bit weird inside my head. And the other main character, Svetlana, the two of them, as I write the book, I just put them into the situation, and then I let them do what they would naturally do as developed characters. And sometimes that takes the book in a whole direction I wasn't expecting. Like, well, of course, this is what Svetlana would do right now. And now, how am I going to deal with that plot twist? So it makes it really fun and interesting as an author to follow those two, in my mind, real people through the guideposts of the reality of the world then.
And as a reader, those plot twists make you really turn the page. I mean, this is a real page turner. It's over 400 pages, but you can really rip through this. But you also then, Chris, get kind of deep into the technical side of things based on your obviously experience as a test fighter pilot, astronaut, et cetera here. How difficult is it for you to sort of edit yourself when it comes to the level of expertise you have about space, about flight, about planes, weaponry, et cetera, but then also making it approachable for an average viewer to read and say, oh my gosh, I can't even fathom what he's talking about now?
Well, if you look at that video you're running right now, it's a great example of it. That's one of the most complicated human creations ever, the International Space Station. How do you make it so that people get a sense of what it's really like? And to play music and record a well-known song like Space Oddity up there, suddenly it becomes a place that people live. And in my books, the place and the technology, it's like another character. It's super important. Things that happen to the spaceship, it's as if it was this big hulking beast that has its own internal problems. And so the technical side becomes a really key part of the plot. But what really matters is how does it affect the lives of the people on board and the people that are back on Earth. And that's where the real page-turning intrigue comes from. And the book is just getting killer reviews. I'm really delighted by the reaction so far.
I'm sure you are. And I've been reading some of those reviews, Chris, and it is remarkable. So congratulations to you on that. Of course, this book, though, wouldn't really have come to life without not only your depth of research and the creativity and the imagination in your own mind, but you have a real list of acknowledgments in this book as well, like the access you got, the information you got to really deftly and accurately, in a way, put together this partly made up, partly real story.
Yeah, I'm really lucky to. I put in the back of the book a little thing of, hey, this is what's real about the book, so you don't have to go chat GPT it. But being able to call like Gene Kranz, the guy, the flight director in Mission Control, who was there during Apollo 13 and the whole Apollo era, or Bob Crippen, who was the Capcom at the time. They're friends of mine, and then it's a little uncomfortable, but some of the people that die in the book, I knew those guys. so it's weird to write the story where things happen to them, but I try and be factual and respectful and really let everybody see what those people were really like under this bizarre set of circumstances. And I'm just so pleased with how the book has come out. I can't wait for release day here on October 7th so other people can get it in their hands.
Yeah, only a few days from now. And all of what you just said comes off the page. Indeed, Chris, this is Final Orbit. We hope it's not your final work. I'm sure it won't be. But Chris Hadfield, always appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us here on Breakfast.
Hey, great to talk with you. Thanks very much.